Very good afternoon. In this video, I am explaining the difference between fact table and dimension table. Both fact table and dimension table are used to create data model in star schema and snowflake schema in Power BI data model. So we must understand the difference between this fact table and dimension table. Here is a simple explanation of fact table and dimension table in a data model. So in this video, I am explaining the importance of fact table and dimension table in data model and their differences. Fact table. The standard definition of fact table is a fact table stores measurable quantitative data for analysis. So fact table contains and stores measurable and quantitative data that is used for analysis. It contains numeric values and foreign keys that link to dimension tables. So fact table contains numeric values and foreign keys that link to dimension tables. Key features of the fact table. Fact table contains measures, example, sales, amount, and quantity. The data presented in the fact table is usually at the most granular level. Example, each sales transaction. Those in the table grow rapidly as transactions or events are added. So if one a transaction or event is added to the fact table, the number of rows in the table grows rapidly automatically. So these are all the key features about the fact table. It contains measures and the data is at the most granular level. Examples in a sales domain, columns sales ID, date key, product ID, region ID, sales amount, quantity. For example, we understand this fact table and dimension table concept by taking a sales domain as an example. In this sales table is the fact table. It contains columns like sales ID, date key, product ID, region ID, sales amount, quantity. In an e-commerce domain, columns. Another domain is e-commerce domain. In this, the columns of fact table are order ID, customer ID, order date, total amount. Use case. Where we use this fact table and what is its importance. We mostly used for performing calculations, aggregations, and analysis. So the fact table is mostly used for calculations, aggregations, and analysis of the data. Dimension table. A dimension table stores descriptive information related to facts. So, dimension table is to store descriptive information related to the facts. Dimension table it provides context to the data in the fact table. Now, dimension table is provides the context to the data presented in the fact table. Key features of the dimension tables. Dimension table contains attributes. Example, product name, category, region name. Dimension table contains product name, category, region name. Data is relatively static and changes less frequently. The data presented in the dimension table is relatively static and changes less frequently. Typically smaller in size compared to the fact table. So the data presented in the dimension table is small compared to the fact table. So the data presented in the fact table is large. Sometimes the fact table contains up to 1 billion of records. Examples of the dimension table in a sales domain. In the above, we see the sales domain example for the fact table. Here also we understand the dimension table by taking the sales domain as a example. In the sales domain, the Dimension tables are dim product. Columns presented in the product table are product ID, product name, category, price. Dim date. The column presented in the dim date dimension table are date, key, full date, year, month. In an e-commerce domain, the dimension tables are dim customer. Columns presented in the dim customer table are customer ID, customer name, age group, gender. Use case. The dimension table is used for filtering, grouping, add, or categorizing the facts for better analysis. So, the dimension tables are used for filtering, grouping, and categorizing the facts. These are all for better analysis of the data. Key differences. In above, we see the fact table and dimension table separately in sentences one by one. But here we see it in table format with simple bullet points with the features. So the key differences between fact table and dimension table are feature, fact table, dimension table. The features are purpose, contains data, granularity, examples. Fact table. The purpose of the fact table is to store the fact table purpose is to store quantitative data for analysis. Dimension table. The purpose of the dimension table is to store descriptive data to provide context. Fact table contains measures and foreign keys. Dimension table contains attributes and primary keys. The data volume fact table is high. It grows with each transaction. Dimension table. The data volume dimension table is low. It is relatively static. Granularity. In fact table, the granularity is transaction level or aggregated data. In dimension table, it is high level descriptive data. So the data presented in the fact table is a transaction level or aggregated data. So, it is transaction or aggregated data presented in the fact table. Dimension table contains high level descriptive data. Examples of fact table are sales amount, quantity, date, key, product ID. These are all the columns presented in the fact table. Product name, region name, food date. These are the columns presented in the dimension tables. Real world example. Here we understand this fact table and dimension table concepts by taking one real example. In sales domain, fact table is fact sales. The columns are sales ID, date, key, product ID, sales amount, quantity. In dimension tables, dim product, dim region, dim data are the dimension tables. The columns in dim product are product ID, product name, category, price. Dim region. The columns in dim region are dim region ID, region name, country. Dim date. The columns presented in the dim date dimension table are date, key, year, month, and day. These are the main differences and importance of fact and dimension tables in the data model design. You understand this in simple way by using ChatGPT. In a data warehousing, fact table and dimension tables are essential components of a star schema or snowflake schema. So, in star schema and snowflake schema, fact and dimension tables are important and essential components in data warehousing. Here is a clear breakdown of their differences. We understand this by break down their differences. Fact table. A fact table stores measurable and quantitative data related to a business process. Fact table stores measurable and quantifiable data related to business process. It contains foreign keys that link to dimension tables. So the dimension tables and fact tables are connected by using foreign keys presented in the fact table. Dimension table contains primary keys. The columns presented in the uh, dimension table are linked with the keys. The primary keys presented in the dimension table are linked with the foreign keys presented in the fact tables. Characteristics of a fact table contains measurable metrics. So, fact tables contains measurable metrics. Example: sales revenue, profit, quantity sold. Fact table has foreign keys referencing dimension tables. Fact table has foreign keys referencing dimension tables. So fact table contains foreign keys whose foreign keys are referenced to the dimension table. Fact table stores numerical data for analysis and reporting. Fact table can be very large in size as it stores transactional level data. So fact tables are mainly used for storing numerical data. For analysis, the data is used for analysis and reporting. Fact tables generally very large in size. It stores transaction level data. Examples of a fact table: sales VAT. The columns presented in the fact table are sales ID, date key, product key, customer key, sales amount, quantity. Dimension table. A dimension table stores descriptive or contextual information about business entities, providing details to analyze facts in the fact table. A dimension table is used to store descriptive or contextual information about business entities. It providing details to analyze fact in the fact table. So dimension tables are mainly used to analyze the facts in the fact table. Characteristics of a dimension table. Dimension table contains descriptive attributes. The attributes are product name, customer name, date. Dimension table has a primary key that uniquely identifies each record. So primary key is unique for each record. We don't use one primary key more than one time. Foreign keys allows duplicate records. Dimension tables helps in filtering, grouping, and segmenting data in reports. So, dimension tables helps in filtering, grouping, and segmenting the data in reports. Dimension table usually smaller in size than fact table. Compared to fact tables, the dimension tables are has small size. Example of a dimension table is product name. It contains columns product key, product name, category, price, key differences. Here also some key differences between fact and dimension table. Fact table stores measure of facts. Dimension table stores descriptive details. The data presented in the fact table is numerical data. Those are measures. The data presented in dimension tables are textual or descriptive data. Fact table contains foreign keys. Dimension table contains primary keys. Fact table is a transaction. The granularity of fact table is transactional level data. Dimension table granularity is for aggregated information. Fact table size is larger. Millions of records are stored in the fact table. Dimension table. Small records should be saved in dimension tables. The changes to the fact table changes every time. The changes to the dimension tables are less frequent. We change it very rarely. Power BI fact tables are used in visuals for calculations. So fact tables are mainly used in visuals for calculations. The calculations are like sum average, while dimension tables help in filtering and slicing data. Dimension tables mostly help in filtering and slicing data, like filtering sales by product category. These are all the main differences between fact and dimension tables. You must know these differences to understand the data design and creating the reports by using these fact and dimension tables. I hope this video helps to you to improve the information about fact and dimension table. So the after analyzing these all information, you must know some basic points about fact and dimension tables. Those are fact table contains parent keys, while dimension table contains primary keys. Primary keys don't allow duplicate values, but parent keys allows duplicate values. Fact table contains millions of records. Dimension table has less data. The data presented in the fact table is high. The data presented in the dimension table is low. Fact table contains numerical data. That means measures should be saved in fact table. Dimension table contains textual information. Those information is called descriptive information. Fact table is used for transaction level data. Dimension table is used for created information. Fact table stores measurable facts. Dimension table stores descriptive details. Fact table and dimension table should be linked to create a data model. Without thinking of fact and dimension table, we can't create data model in Power BI. So the foreign key is presented in the fact table and the dimension and the five primary keys presented in the dimension tables are used to create a data models. Like when at the time of creating data model, we use one-to-one many relationship and many-to-one relationships and one-to-many, many-to-many relationships at the time of creating data model. Mainly the relationship from fact table to dimension table is many to one in many cases. The relations from dimension table to fact table is one to many because the fact table has many records for one value. Dimension table has only one record for one value. So it is the reason for one to many relationship from dimension table to fact table and many to one relationship from fact table to dimension tables. These are all the important important information yeah, related to differences between fact table and dimension table. I hope this video will help you for analyzing the difference between fact and dimension table. Thank you.